March. Oops, I got pushed button. March 18th, 2018. You're listening to What's Happening in Cleveland with your host, Kevin Baird.
And Brian Baird.
And Larry Mack.
Don is helping Curtis move, and he probably will not join the show. So, it's just fine. Fine. Nah.
Good fun.
Fine. Nah. Brian and I were reminiscing about our terrible childhood again. That's what we do. Nah, it's interesting. I don't ever know everything. Sometimes it's good to talk to Brian. It's clarity. Sometimes you make stuff up, though, time. Like,
well, if I look back and say I don't think it's exciting.
It's like,
it has to be heroic. I mean, it has to be.
I mean, the part where, like, Danny Trejo was living with us and he had a knife.
He did.
He would threaten us. I don't remember that part so much, but, yeah, that's interesting. So, all right, let's start with Brian. How did your week go this week?
It was pretty boring, actually. There wasn't much going on. The only problem I really had, since we know you come to me not to hear, enthusiastic reasons to live, but complaints. I was having a little bit of problems with my iPhone, my iPad with music. I would put on it from my computer, and they had a thing now where if you want to play whatever you downloaded or added to it, you go to the downloaded music section. Whereas before they didn't do that. I think they just add like weird shit to justify being there. Like that's why they're just allowed to just come up with whatever freaked out shit. And I know they don't listen to the comment section because otherwise half the time, they're on there. They wouldn't do that shit. So yeah, that was a little bit frustrating, and it took me about an hour or two to figure it out. And I was like, oh my god, why is it got to be such balls? Can't be this fucking hard, Let me see. I got the new Star Wars. I haven't got maybe about a third of the way into it, and it's just like, yeah, Mark Hamill's right. This is fucking long, man. It's like 2.5 hours. I didn't even pay attention, so I shut it off because I wasn't really paying attention to the beginning. It was like background. I'm like, I know I should watch it, but I'm doing other shit right now. So,
there's parts of that movie that you don't even really need to watch.
It's just, I just didn't really pay. When I realized I had no clue what was going on, I was getting confused because I was just like, it was just background show. I was playing video games. I shut it off.
There's like this part where like Finn goes down to this planet,
right.
Like you could actually like take that whole segment out and not watch it because it makes it makes no difference. It's pointless. It's like they needed to do something with him. They're like, well, we need him in this movie. We need to give him something to do, so we're going to give him this little side thing. About animal slavery, and then we'll go back to the regular movie. Like, not that interesting.
Not that interesting. Ham-fisted political statement, and yeah, they then later render the entire that whole storyline moot by saying, yeah, that was never actually the plan. We never really needed that.
Right. Yep. Yeah. No. It's Star Wars though, so you got to let some stuff go. But like having bombers in space. But anyway, Brian.
Bombers in space. I think actually having played Battlefleet Gothic, bombers in space makes sense because they'll actually bomb the other ship. We've done that in World Wars and stuff back in the day. Now, of course, it's sort of a moot point because we have jet fighters that can fire missiles.
There's no gravity. How's a bomb supposed to fall if there's no gravity in space?
Well, they're just big. They're just gravity bombs, dude. They're just,
There's no gravity.
No, but they will continue in the direction where you fucking dropped them off. I mean, they're gonna, they're more like torpedoes. They're more like torpedoes.
They're not. They were bombs. It's fine.
Look, man, they can fly. They're flying through space, and they have alien friends. Okay, and then we have our planet where we're not getting off this planet. Right? I mean, we're never getting out of here.
Physics are out the window.
Ever.
Right. Doesn't matter.
It's crazy. So, otherwise, I watched a part of that and shut it off, and I got my Blu-ray version of Assault on Precinct 13. Comes in a tin and free poster. That's pretty goddamn glorious. I mean, it's not like the movie like here's the alternate ending, or some crazy shit like that. And as the usual things you would find like interviews, you'd listen to John Carpenter talk about the making of the movie, and it can be interesting sometimes, but I think it's better if he has a co-host or a co-star with him, because if it's just him, you could tell he's just like sort of tired about talking about this shit. So it's like him and then the producer. I'm like, why the fuck does the producer got to talk? Like, I don't give a fuck what the hell this guy's got to talk about.
Maybe you're interested in the production of the film, Brian.
Huh?
Maybe you're interested in the production of the film.
No, I'm not. No, I'd rather have the stars talk about what it was like when somebody showed up drunk or some shit. That's interesting. But I guess they're probably, fucking tired of it too. And then I watched another movie called Cotton Comes to Harlem, which is Fred Williams, which is just glorious. I mean, it's just a great movie. If you like blaxploitation. And that's I mean, I just relax. I got to work tomorrow. I got to go to Steubenville, Ohio. They seem really pleased that I called to find out what time they open so I can be there on time because, yeah, I mean, I want to help our customers I deliver freight to, but it's also I want to get it over, get the fuck out of there, Steubenville. It's middle of goddamn nowhere.
Larry, I think you got to move your mic a little bit away from your nose or something.
Who?
Larry.
Oh.
I'm just hearing a little bit too much nose wind. It's all right. It happens. The headset. It's all right.
Anyway. And I was playing the app that was released. I don't know if it's on like the phone. I doubt it. But I've got Mordheim, which is a Games Workshop skirmish game based on the fantasy world of Warhammer. And it's nowhere near as good as the PC version. The graphics are not that good. But it's entertaining for a little skirmish game. You can actually go online and fight other people. And, of course, occasionally you see them pop up in there. And they're like, if you want to fight them, they're there. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure there's some random nobody. I'll go to the big level 100, But otherwise, I've got to be honest. I've been enjoying playing it, a bit. And that's about it, man. Otherwise, it was just drive here, drive there. The weather was pretty nice. Actually, Thursday when I was down in Columbus, it was 50-something, sunny. Oh, my God, it was great. And then as I got closer to Cleveland, it's like, it always reminds me of that scene in Lord of the Rings where the hobbits come over to the rise and with Gollum and they look and there's Mordor. It's like, clouds and fucking darkness and lightning in the background. He's like, yeah, that's pretty much, that's what I'm thinking. So, and that's my week, man. Wasn't all exciting, but I like it like that.
Getting a little bit of echo feedback from one of you two, but I can't tell because neither of you guys are green lining. Somebody's got speakers on, or your mic's picking up your headset or something.
That'd be weird. My head's hollow. It just hears me.
I know. I hear two of you, though, and I hear myself sometimes. Larry, how was your week?
Apparently terrible because I don't breathe properly and make too much noise when I do it.
Your mic's just really crisp today. I don't know why.
Yeah, and it's weird because I gave up trying to get anything to work when I was playing Lord of the Rings right before this. I had no sound. I was like, oh, this is going to be a problem. And then, as soon as I joined this, like my volume shot through the roof and you guys blew out my eardrums and apparently you can like hear my like intestines moving shit. Anyway, so let's see this week what did I do this week.
God. Please don't make me shit my pants. Not now.
I did a bunch of work in the office this week because my boss was in town, so we had to do the go out to happy hour thing with everybody. We once again won at trivia. Obviously, I mean, goes without saying at this point, really.
As long as we don't face against a team of 12, we're pretty good.
Yesterday, did kegs and eggs at my buddy's house for St. Patrick's Day. I, of course, drank responsibly. I had like just a little sip of brandy with my breakfast. No, I'm kidding. We polished off we were like polishing off bottles of like Irish whiskey and scotch and bourbon while drinking beer the rest of the day. So that was fun. And let's see what else. Been working on my Lord of the Rings stuff now that we're in Mordor, and
so they just released that. I mean, that game really took off. I mean, it's amazing.
Yes. So There's a couple things. So they actually just released yet another expansion now that, like, you know, the War of the Ring is over and we're in Mordor and we're taking the place over and killing off all of Sauron's like lieutenants and shit. Now they have opened up northern Mirkwood, so you have to go help like Thranduil like do whatever. I haven't gotten up there yet because, well, I have gotten up there once, and I'll say this for the new landscape: like Mordor, huge, and like each section was different, so it was cool. You had like the Plains of Fire and Gorgoroth. You had like, you know, Shelob's lair and Cirith Ungol. Totally just great, massive shit.
Is Gandalf anywhere?
He's all over the place and mostly sending you on just dumb errands. Like, hey, Larry Mack, who has single-handedly slain all the lieutenants of Mordor because you are the greatest hunter in the history of whatever, I need you to go fetch some firewood for us. You know, dumb shit. Or
that's always great.
Yeah, go pick some leaves off a tree so I can study them. But so I go up to Mirkwood, and they decided, instead of like Mordor is like just totally full of monsters everywhere. That's what makes it tough. Mirkwood, they took a different approach, and they said, instead of making it totally full of monsters everywhere, we're going to make everything dark woods with cliffs and make it impossible to get around. Like, you can't walk in a straight line more than 2 feet without finding a cliff or a mountain somewhere. And it's a pain in the ass, and it's horrible, and I hate it. The other thing they did with Mordor, if people who used to play it way back in the day, when Moria was the end game, when you hit Moria, they had this Radiance gear, which was one stat you only used in Moria, and it was a completely stupid system because you basically wound up having to have 2 sets of gear. And so everybody hated it, so they got rid of it. And they were like, yeah, you know what? We have heard you. That was a terrible idea. That's on us. Say goodbye to Radiance gear. But as soon as we get to Mordor, say hello to the Light of Eärendil gear, which is the exact same dynamic. So as you go deeper into Mordor, you just keep getting your stats nerfed because of the shadow of Mordor, unless you get the special Light of Eärendil gear, which kind of sucks, but
yeah.
At least here, they at least gave it good stats, so it's kind of worthwhile even outside of Mordor, whereas like Radiance gear, once you left Moria, you just had to switch gear, otherwise you're going to get killed by like fucking turkeys and shit in the fucking woods. So that's what I've been doing with the spare time, and of course, conquering the world in Candy Crush Saga. And that's about it for me.
Yeah, trivia, we won. And
Congratulations.
Yeah, we do every week. Larry answers most of the questions. Anderson helps, and I just once in a while I'll be like, I'll know one. And just, you know, just there to help pay for things. Although Larry paid for this week, which was nice. And then St. Patrick's Day, didn't really do anything. Did I do anything this week? Not really. Playing that war game here, Hearts of Iron 4. Just trying to figure it out. Finally figured out how to play Russia and crush everybody. Which is, you know,
always great.
I felt accomplished when I destroyed the German Reich and took over Poland and stuff. Part of the problem was, like, when I first started playing the game, I went online and I looked at tips, and this guy gave me some tips that weren't good. They weren't good tips. I thought they were going to be good. I thought since he knew.
He lied.
You're right, that they were going to be good tips. They were not. They were not good tips. And so when I went on the forums later, I was like, why can't I fucking win? I was like, oh, apparently the guy that gave me the tips was wrong. So now I know how to play it properly. At least somewhat. I'm still not that good at it, but whatever. It defeated the German Reich with the biggest country in the world, so, you know, pretty good. Next up is to play as Afghanistan and try to take over the world. No, it's impossible. There's only 50 people living in Afghanistan, apparently, and can't field an army with 50 people.
Well, there's 50 worth that'll actually fight.
Right.
The rest just disappear. Like, I'm out of here.
And, I don't know. No, I was just thinking, like, if anything else was going on, but
No new doctor's appointments this week.
my liver kind of hurts, but I can never tell if it's because I laid wrong and like my rib hurts or at my actual liver hurts. Knowing me, it's probably my liver. I
I've
did
gotta
go to
my doctor's appointment. I've got to take my physical, and I just know there's gonna be some new bullshit that they'll tell me. Like, well, now that you've got a month left, you got to make an appointment to go listen to the eyes, ears, nose doctor, and you should have made it like 8 months ago because now you're not gonna be able to work. I'm like, fine, I'll just sue everybody.
Yeah, I went and saw my one doctor, and it was sort of stupid. Well, it was like the psychiatrist. Well, it's not a psychiatrist, but it's like that. And
It's like,
well, well, no, because it's like a nurse. It's a nurse. It's not a doctor. And I just go to get my prescription refilled.
yeah, I got to see the nurse too for that.
Yeah, and so I call because for whatever reason, mental health is like not in the same computer system as the rest of Cleveland Clinic, and it's been like that for like a decade now. I don't know why they can't get into the system so I can. Oh my God, this echo's killing me.
Yeah, I'm hearing it too.
Larry, is your microphone too close to your earpiece or something?
I mean,
I'm just trying. Your mic is so good tonight. I don't know why.
It can't be closer than it normally is. It's a fixed piece of plastic.
I guess I don't. It's really you're really clear. I don't. It's weird. I know it won't. Maybe it's because Anderson's not here. When he comes on, he just muffles you.
Put a pillow over your head.
Just
It's okay.
Best. So anyway, the point is that she wasn't in, and so I was like, well, I just need my prescription refilled. If she's going to be back in May, can I just wait until May and you guys can renew my prescription? And they're like, no, you'll have to see your alternate. I'm like, what? Okay, fine, but I mean, this is dumb. Like, what am I going to tell her about my life all over again and shit? Like, what does she give a fuck? She's not going to care. Like, well, I don't think the medication you're on's any. You seem perfectly normal to me. Yeah, but you weren't here when the. I don't think so. We're going to actually cancel all this, and I think we're just going to give you a placebo and see how that goes for you.
It costs twice as much.
Right. I mean, no, I'm not really on anything significant. I mean, even if I stop taking it, it'd probably be okay. It's more, it acts more like a placebo for me anyway, just so, because, I kind of know my baseline. That's all. I mean, if I don't know, if I have a hospital scare, it's about the only thing that really bothers me is going to the doctor. Because the doctor only tells you bad news. Only tells you bad. You never see the doctor, and they're kind of like auto mechanics. They're just gonna find some shit wrong with you.
Yeah.
And then
if you don't get it fixed right now, then you're fucked.
Right, and then tell you like offhand horrible shit about it. Yeah, I got like a plantar's wart on my foot over here. Oh, let me look at that. I think we better get a biopsy of that. It could be cancer.
Oh my God, it's turning into a hand. It's their hands. Like, dude.
I mean, it's probably not cancer, but it could be cancer. And I've seen this kind of thing before, and you could be dead in a week. What?
Yeah, sorry. Look, I gotta go. I'll talk to you later. Wait.
Right. I got another patient. The nurse will be in a minute. We'll do a biopsy, and then we'll talk to you about 6 weeks. But you just said I'm going to die in a week. I don't understand.
Yeah, it sucks. I know.
All right. So we're going to do our drinking game. And if you're planning to drink on tonight's drinking game, you're going to get drunk. Cleveland had a very ambitious St. Patrick's Day weekend. And you're definitely going to get a little bit liquored up if you're drinking liquor. Or you're just going to get a full belly if you're drinking regular soda pop. That's the kind of weekend it's been in Cleveland.
Or you're going to have to take a big shit if you ate too much corned beef.
I did try to find some positive stories as well. Didn't have a lot of luck, but we'll see if we got one.
It's Cleveland.
Like the Hyperloop. That was kind of fun to talk about last week. Cleveland. Oh, if you never played before, basically I'm going to read off the Metro News out of Cleveland. And if it involves a shooting, you have to drink. If it happened on Cleveland's east side, you have to drink. And if Jennifer Cha-Cha is the person who announces the bad news, you have to drink. And sometimes we get all three in the same article. And if we get that, that's a hat trick, and you have to drink the bottle. All right. Cleveland, Ohio. A 14-year-old was shot Sunday evening on the city's east side, police said. Right off the bat, double drink. Few details about the shooting were initially released. The shooting happened at the 1400 block of East 94th Street, just west of Ansel Road, near the border of Cleveland's Huff and Glenville neighborhoods. Cleveland police spokesman Detective Reginald Lanton said. One of these days we might add Reginald to the drink list.
Yeah, he seems to be,
He's the alternate.
getting a lot more work lately.
Yeah.
And honestly though, this one almost shouldn't count, because if you're on the border of Huff and was it Glenville or Column?
Yeah, Glenville.
Yeah. Nothing else does happen there. Only shootings happen there.
Right. Shootings, drug deals, rapes. The 14-year-old was struck in the back near the shoulder, Lanton said. Shooting victim's gender was not immediately made available. The suspected shooter is believed to be traveling in a stolen silver Mercedes-Benz.
I think I see what might have caused the shooting to take place.
The silver Mercedes-Benz, or the lack of gender of the victim?
Yeah, the gender. No, I have no idea.
A model or license plate number were not released. So any silver Mercedes-Benz could be our shooter.
Well, if it's a silver Mercedes-Benz around Huff and Glenville, you should probably alert the authorities anyhow.
Yeah, there's probably not a lot of those.
Yeah, because it is either the stolen one they're looking for or someone on their way to sell drugs.
Yeah. Cleveland, Ohio.
Alleged sell drugs.
That's right. Innocent until proven guilty. 2 people were injured early Sunday when 11 gunshots were fired into a house in the city's east side. Drink, and we should start having a new rule that if a house is shot at, that's also a drink. I think we're going to start that one, because we do report on a lot of house shootings. People in this town really don't like houses and like to shoot them up. Shooting happened just about 3:45 a.m. at house on the 2500 block of East 35th Street. And that's we already drank on that. The other one was 2 drinks. Inside the Arbor Park Village housing complex, Cleveland Police report states. Officers arrived at the house shortly after the shooting and met with the 911 caller, a 39-year-old woman. The woman told police that gunshots were fired into the house and that 2 victims were huddled in the bathroom, the report says. Police found a 16-year-old girl with a graze wound to her right arm and an 18-year-old man with gunshot wound through his right foot, the report says. Pretty weird. Teenager told officers that she was asleep on a living room couch and woke up when she heard gunshots fired through a first-floor window. The man told police that he was also in the living room when the shooting happened. Shooting victims were taken to Metro Health by paramedics, where they both died. No, it's outside the apartment, police found 11 .40 caliber shell casings and identified several bullet holes through the first-floor window. The report does not list any potential shooting suspects, and no arrests have been made. Aren't you glad you live on the west side? Good thing Dad didn't move to...
I live on the east side, so...
Well, when you were a kid, I mean.
Oh, yeah, it would have been god-awful.
Because Dad didn't make a mistake and just put us in school on the east side of Cleveland or something. Yeah, you're like so far in the east side that it's actually...
Yeah, might as well be the west side all over again.
Yeah. Sometimes better than the west side. Yeah. Cleveland, Larry must be just beating his child. He's got us on mute the whole time. Do the show on mute. Daddy said no. Cleveland, Ohio.
You told me to stop breathing, so...
Oh, it's fine. But we like your commentary. A man in a wheelchair was shot in the hand and robbed early Sunday on the city's west side, police say.
Damn.
That's a single drink. And
ow! Give me your wallet. Well, I can't reach for it now.
Shooting the guy in the wheelchair is a certain kind of low.
Yeah, that's making your reservation at that whole next level of hell.
Right.
Like mugging wheelchair people.
The incident happened about 1:30 in the morning near the
Shooting
intersection
so
of...
the guy couldn't roll away.
What, maybe, yeah. Well, it's just goes in circles.
Yeah. We're going to hell.
The incident happened about 1:30 a.m. near the intersection of West 65th Street and Colgate Avenue in the Detroit Shoreway neighborhood, according to a Cleveland police report. A 37-year-old man told officers that he was leaving a friend's home when an unknown person approached him. The robber demanded that the victim hand over his belongings while pointing a gun in the victim's face, the report states. Geez, really? You're going to pick the guy in the wheelchair? It's really weird. Random mugging. The victim told police that he instinctively swatted the gun away before hearing a loud bang, the report says. The man was doubled over in his wheelchair in pain while the robber took his fanny pack, which contained his wallet and social security card. That's okay. I mean, all right. It's like he probably had some other things in that wallet, right? You just didn't have a wallet with a social security card. Probably, an ID and credit cards or something. It just seems weird that they pointed out a social security card was in there. Who carries around their social security card anyway? That's just weird.
I do.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I have to have it. I have to have it if I get pulled over by the cops. It basically it's like they're telling me if
it just has a number on there.
Look, man, it's like because I take Adderall. If I'm driving the truck and for whatever reason get into an accident and the cops just decide to be dicks, and if I hadn't taken my Adderall, I can actually be in deep shit for that. I'm like, so they're telling me, I told the doctor that I have to be on amphetamines. It's just like, yeah, pretty much. I'm like, okay.
I don't know, dude. 37-year-old man called his nephew to drive him to Metro Health. At the hospital, doctors saw that the man suffered a gunshot wound to his right hand. The man could not give police a description of the robber, and no arrests have been made. Sounds like horseshit. Like a bullshit story.
Like I don't know the particulars, but like I think if one of my friends was like at my house and like in a wheelchair, like bound in a wheelchair, and it's 1:30 in the morning, I might give them a ride home or something. Not, hey, wheel your ass down the street middle of the night.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Okay.
I'm not sure why you leave your buddy's house at 1:30 in the morning in your wheelchair, planning to just wheel yourself home.
Right. After you shot yourself in the hand.
Yeah, maybe the buddy's just not somebody you want to be around. There's like, I can't take it. He just keeps telling the same stories. I can't. I gotta get out of here.
Hey, speaking of which, that reminds me.
Wasteland's coming up.
I did bump into Bailey this week. He
Had a birthday.
He did, and turns out his daughter and my daughter go to the same orthodontist. So we walked in, and because it's Bailey, of course, people just walk into the orthodontist office. Hey, Bill, how's it going? And he's sitting there. So had to go. I was a little surprised because I'm sure there's like fluoride in the braces or something that the government puts in there to control your mind. So I was a little surprised to see him there. But
Beechwood, Ohio.
Oh,
Drink.
now we're getting closer.
Police are investigating a second incident. Actually, hold on to that story. You can hold on to that drink too. We're going to come back to that. Cleveland, Ohio. A woman escaped from the trunk of a car after two men kidnapped her Saturday night, police say. The incident happened just after 9:30 p.m. near West 110th and Lorraine Avenue. Cleveland police spokesman Detective Reginald Lanton said the men drove off from the area when the woman escaped. Police have not released any more information about the incident. It's not very much of a story there, but apparently the woman was kidnapped and put into a trunk of a car. Okay, Cleveland, Ohio.
I guess it could have been a much more horrific story, so it's almost like a good story.
Yeah, I guess she got away. Yeah. Although there's two kidnappers, I guess, driving around just picking up women at 9:30 in the morning and putting them in the trunk of their car.
And not realizing that they disappeared.
It's a very successful strategy. I mean, no.
Look, she needed a ride home. I was trying to help her out. There was some miscommunication.
Yeah.
It's the low-budget Uber plan.
Yeah.
It's like the cheapest
fare. It's a free ride, but you have to get in the trunk.
Right.
You sure this isn't like some YouTuber story where somebody they didn't know at the same party they were at was asked if they could give them a ride? Like, okay. And then they decided, hey, I know a shortcut that'll like, save a bunch of time. He stopped and they just ran out of the car. Now it's like, I was almost getting that.
Jackie Brown. Chris Tucker's trying to get asked to get into the trunk. No, man, I ain't getting in no trunk.
Trying to squeeze a couple extra fares into the Uber ride. I could take 2 more, but you got to ride in the trunk.
Cleveland, Ohio. One person is injured after a shooting outside Beechwood Place, police say. That's a double drink. Shooting happened about 3 p.m. near Saks Fifth Avenue at Cedar and Richmond Roads. One person is in custody, and preliminary indications show that the shooter and the victim knew each other. Police say, as far as they know, there is one victim. There may have been a secondary incident that happened, but police are still investigating what happened. Multiple agencies remain on scene as of 6 p.m. The situation is under control, and police are going store to store to make sure everything is okay. Is everything okay in here? Yes. All right.
See ya.
Is everything okay in here? Yes, sir. Okay. You guys hear about the shooting that happened like 15 stores down? Yeah, we heard about it. Yeah. I'm just making sure everything's okay.
Yeah, you got none of that going on in here, do you? No, officer. Nobody shot. Okay.
All right. Beechwood Place spokeswoman Marissa Ellenby replied in an email that the event today is
you're fine. He's just drunk.
And all queries should be directed to the Beechwood Police Department. Apparently, Marissa doesn't want to have to answer anybody's fucking question.
No, fucking busy. Go ask the cops.
Lakewood resident Laura Cohen had finished up shopping with her daughter. It's kind of far for you, Laura.
Wow.
And,
Cohen, her name like Cohen, her daughter may live near Beechwood.
And was walking through Saks Fifth Avenue to get to their car when an associate ran towards them yelling, "Shooter, shooter, shooter." Oh, that's exciting.
What the?
Cohen and her daughter ran back into the mall area. Oh, that's wise.
Yeah.
Probably saying it so fast, they're probably like, "Ooder." Like, what?
Ducked into Lush Cosmetics. An employee pulled down the security gate, and they all hunkered down in the storage room. Over one shooting. Wow.
I know, right?
Police arrived about 20 to 15 minutes later to let them know it was safe to go. I mean, I understand.
You guys can leave now. No, there's a shoot. No, we already got him. It's fine. They're going to live there now in the Lush cosmetic store, start their own society,
It's a little bit...
little over the top.
Yeah, it's a little over the top.
I mean, if they say shooter, like, as opposed to invasion force, I mean, really, like... And more importantly, I think my first move is going to be to leave the mall, not run back into the mall and find someplace good to hide.
Unless the guy's got like a silencer or something, you're pretty like if there's an active shooter situation going on anywhere around you, you're going to probably hear it, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be aware.
Yeah, it's going to sound like a lot of fireworks going off and probably some explosions.
You're going to be like, wow, there's a lot of cars backfiring in the middle of the mall today. That's really weird.
Right. And then maybe don't go running towards the mall.
Right. Those fucking kids and their fireworks.
Yeah. It's not a good idea. Beechwood, Ohio. Police are investigating a second incident at Beechwood Place where a 17-year-old girl was taken to the hospital after a shot was fired, a short time after a man was shot outside of the shopping mall. Investigators are working to determine the specifics and if the two incidents are related. I hope they're related, and I'm not ever going to Beechwood Mall.
Right.
Second incident happened near the main entrance of the mall. According to a news release from Beechwood Police, that a man was shot in the leg about 3 p.m. near Saks Fifth Avenue. So I don't know how these are all tied together, but it sounds like there was more than one shooting, so feel free to have another drink. The girl was taken to a local hospital where she has since been announced dead. No, treated and released. Police have taken a man into custody in connection with the first shooting. The man shot was taken to a hospital and is also in police custody. Preliminary indications showed that the men knew each other, and the shooting resulted from an altercation between the two. A handgun and cash were recovered from the scene. Police anticipate the mall will be open on Sunday, which is today. Isn't that nice? In case you need to get some shopping in. Crazy mall. Two people there's a shootout in two different places.
Malls anymore anyway.
Unrelated. Apparently that woman from Lakewood.
Yeah.
Cleveland, Ohio. A 22-year-old man was shot in the leg Friday night. And
I mean,
no,
it's just a matter of time before everybody that has like any kind of firearm whatsoever, just one day just unload. Everybody just snaps, starts screaming, and just starts shooting each other for no real reason.
so they unload. Yeah, they use up all the ammunition that's left in the world.
Yeah, then it's just over, and then there's just a bunch of. The next day, I'll get called like, well, we need you to drive a truck around so we can throw corpses in the back of the truck. What does it pay? We'll feed you. The corpses, just drive the truck. Shut up.
Yeah, so a 22-year-old man was shot in the leg Friday night. That's a drink. Was in a struggle with a man who got in his car and held him at gunpoint. The incident started about 10:30 p.m. while the 22-year-old was driving on West 105th Street. Cleveland Police spokesman Detective Reginald Lanton said, police originally reported the man was 23 years old. Oh, well, sorry you got that wrong. An unidentified gunman got into his car, put a gun to the driver's head, and told him to get on the freeway, police said. When they got to East 9th Street, the man tried to grab the gun. Optional drink. During the struggle, the gunman fired a shot, hitting the driver in the leg, police said. Police did not say what happened to the gunman. It's good that they drove to the east side before they decided to open fire. That's what we want to make sure that.
What happened was, the guy got carjacked. He's like, you know what? Car's not worth a life. I'm gonna see if I can get out of this alive. And as they're driving, he's like, oh shit, this guy's taking me to Huff. I need to make my move before we get there.
Yeah, because if you're on your 2 feet around Huff, you're done.
So this one is actually about Larry, and I just wanted to let people know ahead of time. Cleveland, Ohio. Police are investigating after a Cleveland man said his girlfriend stabbed him in the back and attacked him with a hammer. No one has been charged in the incident.
That's pissed. Wow.
That happened about 9 a.m. Thursday at a home on Colgate Avenue near West 73rd Street in Detroit. Oh, sure, we did right. Must be her house. 34-year-old man, that's apparently how old Larry is, went home to retrieve his phone during his break on Thursday morning after his 36-year-old girlfriend found it and got angry about what she saw on his phone, Cleveland Police report says. This totally sounds like it. The girlfriend was seated on a sofa under a blanket when he arrived. The pair argued, and she refused to return his phone. When the man reached for it, the woman pulled out a knife from under the blanket and stabbed him in the back.
Oh, my God, man. Jesus.
She then sliced his arm open. The woman's friend helped the man take the knife away, but the woman retrieved a hammer and struck the man twice over his head.
Good Lord. So here's what I want to know. If he was reaching for the phone, how did she stab him in the back?
Ran away.
Like, how does that work?
Maybe it was down by her feet.
He saw her pull out the knife. He's like, turned around, and she got him. I mean, I understand it completely.
Tried to run away. Paramedics took the man to Metro Health, where he received 11 stitches for his wounds, according to the report. That's not that many. He was no longer listed as a patient there on Friday afternoon. But that must be a small knife. Still, I mean, you could get stabbed with a fencing foil and die. So, and that would probably take like 2 stitches. This one, I'm not sure what this one's about here. It says, Cleveland, Ohio. A Ukrainian-born man living in South Carolina died Thursday evening in a restroom at the Cuyahoga County Justice Center after making a brief court appearance on a fentanyl possession charge.
Seems like a lot of unnecessary detail.
Yeah. Alexander Pepemko, 32 of Shea, was found dead in the first-floor restroom of the Justice Center, just inside the main entrance. That'd be really nice. You got to go to the bathroom. Like, just let me go in here really quick. Open the doors, dude laying there dead. Excuse me. I'm sorry that you're dead, but I really got to pee. I got to pee.
And you're at the courthouse, so you immediately just run out of the bathroom. I didn't do it.
Yeah, but you got to pee. So you got I got to go back in though. I'm sorry. Don't make it. Don't put that yellow tape over their door, please. Please don't put the yellow tape. I got to go in. I'm gonna pee my pants. I'm gonna pee in the drinking fountain. Don't pee in the drinking fountain. I'm gonna go to jail. I gotta go somewhere.
I'm already in jail.
Yeah, we're shit in the woods.
Pepemko made a brief appearance at a 9 a.m. pretrial hearing Thursday in Cuyahoga County. Yeah, that's kind of funny. Like there's woods up next to the Justice Center. There's just like you're just like, what? You go up the back door, there's a big forest. Like, what the hell? Where am
Yeah,
I?
I mean, it's like there's a gingerbread house.
man,
Like, how
it's-
fucking deep in the woods are they going?
It's Forest City, sir.
Yeah.
But
Forest City.
Penguin made a brief
Jesus.
appearance at a 9 a.m. pre-trial
Yeah,
hearing
but you would
Thursday.
figure outside of that there would be a little less force. It's like Forest City is when they go to the courthouse, they're on top of like a giant redwood. You know, that's you can't run away because you'll just fall.
A lot of people
Apparently-
know Cleveland is like Endor, really.
They're gonna give him an autopsy, but
might,
I'm not
dude.
gonna fentanyl.
It wouldn't surprise me if there's some hidden part of the metro parks we just haven't been, able to notice because of all the gray skies and shit, and there's trees just reaching right up.
They keep adding shit to the Metro Park, so there's totally more shit to the Metro Parks that you haven't been to. And eventually, this whole area will just be Metro Park.
That's fine. Nobody will notice me then, except you'll still hear people going, "Hey, fucker!" Like, God damn it.
Cleveland, Ohio. A woman was taken to the hospital after a shooting Thursday night. Drink on the city's west side, police say. Shooting occurred on the 3300 block of West 56th Street, just south of Storer Avenue, near the Stockyards neighborhood. Police say the 35-year-old woman was taken to Metro Health Medical Center with wounds to the stomach and, today's favorite, the leg. Police did not identify the victim or release additional information on the incident. Now this one's sad, but it's kind of funny. Vermilion, Ohio. An ambulance taking a patient to the hospital Thursday went off the road and down an embankment, killing the patient and injuring 2 EMTs.
Jesus.
Like you're on your way to the hospital and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
David
died.
McNeil, 76 of Vermilion. I mean, what are the odds of that? There wasn't like ice all over the road or anything.
Dude, some ambulance drivers are just fucking useless dicks. They are, man. They're just like, I watched a guy in an ambulance tailgating a car because it wouldn't get out of his way with the lights on. Like, dude, go the fuck around. But, like, no, it's my road. Get out of the way. It's like, Jesus Christ.
David McNeil, 76 of Vermilion, was pronounced dead at the scene on US 6 east of Sunnyside Road, according to the State Highway Patrol. The North Central EMS ambulance was traveling east on US 6 to Lorraine Mercy Hospital. This is on Cleveland's far west side. At 12:33 p.m., when it went off the right side of the road, a news release from the patrol says the ambulance hit a guardrail and went down the embankment, hitting several trees before it overturned and came to a rest on its side. What, did the guardrail just jump out into the road or something? Like, I think something happened there. The ambulance was on a non-emergency response. EMT Catherine Tusing,
Clearly there was
49
a
of
victim in the back. I mean, what the fuck happened?
Holland, was in the rear of the ambulance with McNeil. She suffered serious but non-life-threatening injuries and was flown by helicopter to Toledo Medical Health Center. The driver, Levi Hunter, 26 of Ashland, was taken to Lorraine Mercy Hospital with minor injuries. No charges have been filed, and drugs and alcohol use are not suspected in the crash. Oh, it's just random. Tire rolled off or something.
Yeah. Fell apart.
Raccoon ran across the road.
Yeah.
Cleveland raccoons, for people who don't know, those things are huge.
It was a non-emergency drive, but somehow they didn't have brakes, apparently, and were going really fast and couldn't stop, even when they went over the embankment and into the trees. So it fell, I mean, I don't know. It's weird. Something happened. Somebody's playing with the laughing gas in the fucking in the back of the thing. Don't turn that on, man. Don't, I can't see.
Don't tell me how to drive, Billy. I'll go where I want. Jesus.
They didn't drive it. Cleveland, Ohio. 2 juveniles were
Stereo just
arrested
comes off. Oh, fuck.
by the U.S. Marshals Thursday in connection with a shooting drink that injured a 5-year-old and a teenage boy. Local officials have said was gang retaliation over the fatal shooting of another teenage gang member fatally wounded last year. 17-year-old and 14-year-old were arrested for the Monday shooting that wounded a 5-year-old and 16-year-old boy, U.S. Marshals said in the news release. Well, at least somebody came and arrested him. I mean, it had to be the U.S. Marshals. I guess they were just like, we can't find him. Why don't you guys? Oh, you found him? All right. Both teams.
Thanks for taking care of that for us.
Yeah, we're just gonna stay here then.
Both teens are males, authorities said. The 17-year-old was arrested near the 900 block of East 77th Street, drink. And the 14-year-old was arrested in the area of the 4300 block of Norma Drive in South Euclid. Officials recovered a loaded firearm on each of the teenagers. Great. 16-year-old boy was the target of the gang members' fire, according to police. He was shot in the chest. The 5-year-old girl, who was walking with her mother at the time, was injured in the leg by stray gunfire. Shooting was in retaliation to the March 5th, 2017 fatal shooting of 15-year-old Javel Bam Swift, who was a member of the Quincy Boys gang, according to police reports. Members of a sect of the Quincy Boys gang renamed their crew after Swift's nickname, calling themselves the Bam Boys, police reports say. These guys needed a brother like I had. They'd be like, that's gay.
Yeah, that's a gay gang name, by the way.
Gay gang name.
Like the Quincy Boys Club or whatever. I'm like, that sounds like a choir. Like, you know.
Brian would be like, around all his older friends, be like, Kevin, tell everybody the name of your gang. Tell them what it is.
Quincy Boys Gang? Gay.
We're the Bam Gang. Oh, the Bam Boys. Oh, the Bam Boys. They bang each other in the ass. You dummy.
Now they're gonna hunt me down.
Gonna get pulled out of your truck like the riots in
Original
California.
Diddy.
Just kiss your ass.
Local trucker beaten to death for laughing at Bam Boys gang name.
Oh, man. The injured 16-year-old boy is the brother of one of two men charged with aggravated murder in Swift's death, according to police reports. Noah Allen, 20, and Devon Shade, 18, are both charged in Swift's death. 16-year-old boy told police that the Bam Boys tried to kill him ever since Swift's death. The teen and one of the Bam Boys
made up, man.
hostile messages back and forth over Instagram shortly before the shooting. Bam Boy's gonna get you, man.
I the fact that they're Instagram friends and can send each other messages. Fucking killing you. Dude, you're threatening to kill me one more time? I'm totally not following you anymore.
Gonna unfriend you, dude. Cleveland, Ohio. A judge on Thursday convicted a Cleveland man taking part in a gang-related shooting on Euclid Avenue near East 4th Street in 2015. Drink twice. Okay, this guy's middle name is in quotes. Daniel Stink Wingfield was found guilty of aggravated murder and several other charges. In the drive-by,
you know what? If my street name is Stink, I'm not using it. Stink. I'm downplaying that street name.
In the drive-by slaying of 23-year-old, this guy's middle name is also in quotes, Dexter Deck Mangham, on the cusp of the city's flagship entertainment district. Wingfield, 26, elected to have Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court Judge Joseph Russo hear his case instead of a jury. Russo delivered the verdict. You're fucked. Within 2 hours of lawyers delivering closing arguments on Thursday, Wingfield was convicted of being among four people inside a car that opened fire on Mangham about 2 a.m. September 25th, 2015, after he left the Bank nightclub on Euclid Avenue near Public Square. I bet the Bank nightclub's probably not there anymore. Bullets struck two others who survived. Two brothers, Dantes and Devon Drake, pleaded guilty on Tuesday to involuntary manslaughter and other charges for their roles in the killing. The fourth man charged, Chris Smith, will face a separate trial. How do you get involuntary manslaughter if you drive up on a guy and open fire with a bunch of fucking guns? Wait, I didn't mean to kill him. It was involuntary.
It was an accident.
I was there, and it was just...
I was drunk.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know the gun was really loaded. I thought we were just fucking around. We were going to scare him. God damn.
Crazy.
Well, if you're like the driver and you didn't realize that the dude in the back seat was going to open up on him.
Yeah, but come on.
He was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I wish I could just be a lawyer. I'd be just like looking at the judge and be like, Judge, come on.
Like, what are we talking about here?
I wouldn't have any evidence or anything. We'd just be like,
Really?
you do. Come on. Cleveland, Ohio. A Warrensville Heights man is accused of shooting his ex-girlfriend drink 4 times after he showed up on the porch on her East Side home asking to speak with her.
Hey,
That's
can I
2
talk
drinks.
to Mindy?
Honey, can I talk to you for a minute?
No.
What do you want?
First-degree felonious assault warrant was issued Tuesday for the arrest of 34-year-old Demetrius Matthews. Court records show he is not in custody. No surprise there. 40-year-old ex-girlfriend suffered 2 gunshot wounds to her abdomen, 1 to her thigh, that's tonight's theme, and 1 to the back of her head in the incident that happened about 2 a.m. Monday at her home on East 175th Street near South Miles Road in the Lee Miles neighborhood. Matthews knocked on the door and asked the woman to talk, prompting her to step outside on her porch. Police and court records say Matthews pulled out a gun in the middle of their conversation and fired at least twice, a police report says. Okay, she's got 4 gunshot wounds and he fired twice. It's like a JFK thing, I guess.
Ricocheted off the wall and hit her again. Damn it.
Woman's son heard someone run off through the icy snow,
But
and
he
a
didn't hear the
witness
gunshots?
heard a car peel away.
He
the
heard
report
someone
says.
running through the snow. Gunshots he missed.
The woman's 21-year-old daughter heard her mother calling for help and found her just inside their front door. Paramedics rushed the woman to University Hospitals where she was treated and later released. It's a good thing she didn't go to Metro. A hospital spokesman said Thursday. Investigators found part of a bullet stuck in the front door, and hospital staff found another bullet still lodged inside the woman, the report says. Cleveland police in December investigated Matthews for stealing credit cards from the woman, and family members told police that they suspected him in the recent theft of a television and PlayStation from the home, according to the report.
See, why can't I find a nice girl like that? Like where
Because there's 5.
yeah, like he was stealing her credit card. She's like, "Oh, it's okay, honey. I still love you." They like thought he like jacked her TV and everything. It's okay, honey. I love you. Come on over and we can talk. Like, cause you know, as soon as she gets out of the hospital, he's gonna be like, "Baby, I'm sorry. Can we talk?" And she's like, "Okay."
He's not gonna get experience with this.
That's the kind of woman I want. One who will stick with me through thick and thin, even when I steal her credit cards and shoot her.
What the fuck is this shit?
Not screaming.
This is the good news, I guess.
This is your positive, upbeat story.
Nice.
Cleveland, Ohio. A sci-fi trip to Superman's home planet is among the top viewing choices for the week. Arthur Miller, writer, 8 p.m. Monday on HBO. Filmmaker Rebecca Miller used in-depth interviews, candid photographs, private letters, journal entries, and home movies to put together this documentary portrait of her father, Arthur Miller. The playwright, whose works include All My Sons, Death of a Salesman, The Crucible. I couldn't think of anything more boring than to watch a documentary about a playwright. I really,
Like watching a movie somebody put in their stereo together.
yeah.
You just,
It might actually even be more interesting than a playwright. I could care less. Krypton, 10 p.m. Wednesday, March 21st.
What
on
about watching
Sci-Fi.
people play video games? I mean, come on.
The Superman
depends.
prequel series from David S. Goyer and Ian Goldberg is set decades before the destruction of Superman's home planet. So he has no powers, basically. It's going to be
Right, yeah.
some dude.
Yeah, a bunch of totally normal people. Well, actually, he won't even have
Getting
powers
jacked.
because before the destruction of his planet, he's not born yet.
That's true, right. No one has powers.
Yeah,
The
a
big-
bunch of normal people walking around on another planet, which
Just like
means,
that Battlestar
which to me
Galactica
says,
spin-off.
to me says space soap opera.
Yeah, it sounds really low budget. Sounds like a good idea if you wanted to do a show about superheroes but not actually have any
Yeah,
on your show. The main character is the Man of Steel's grandfather, Seg-El, played by British newcomer Cameron Cuffe. And Seg is facing quite a dilemma. Save his home planet or let it be destroyed in order to restore the fate of his future grandson. Well, we kind of know what happens. With
Right.
Krypton's leadership in disarray and the House of El ostracized, Seg is determined to redeem his family's honor and protect his loved ones. Complicating matters are a fellow named Brainiac, and an earthly time traveler named Adam Strange. And yes, the name Segel is a tribute to Cleveland native Jerry Siegel, who created Superman with Joe Shuster. I don't care. I ain't gonna watch that shit.
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm still hearing lots of soap opera going on, and yeah, that's always the problem with prequels is we know what's going to happen. Like,
Yep.
There'll be no follow up.
I don't need to watch like seven seasons of that shit either, because that's what it's gonna be too. Like, you could, if you wanted to make it into a 90-minute movie, maybe
I
would
might
watch
do it just because it's the middle of the night and bored.
Yeah, well,
just
Super.
sucking into it.
Yeah, but I ain't tuning in.
Superman's really boring. Station 19.
Well, Superman may or may not be boring. I'm guessing
Superman does all this crazy shit and flies around, goes to the grocery store, comes back with a bunch of nuke pizzas and beer, puts it down. Well, what do you think? You're like, nah.
No, it's like, look, Superman has these omnipotent powers, right?
You can fly, big fucking
and seemingly random new ones every so often.
He can fly, freezing breath, shoot lasers out of his eyes, indestructible. But then he doesn't want to hurt anybody. So he's like the most useless fucking super overpowerful fucking guy
honestly,
ever.
it would be better if he just tear the occasional person's head off.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I really want wanton violence too much, but I mean, it would make a certain amount of sense. If you really want to pick up the story, have him so that he just gets really into just seeing how fucked up he can kill people. I mean, he's that strong. He just crush you into a small fucking cube.
I mean, I guess he doesn't have to, because he can just smash through whatever you got in the way and then grab you and then take you somewhere. But he fucks around too much. And then other people
Jump you
get
off the
hurt.
top of a mountain and fly away.
Other people get hurt.
There.
And then, how many times do they escape? Always fucking escape. So obviously he would just be like, listen, I wouldn't kill these people, but you guys are just completely incompetent and can't keep anybody in jail.
Yeah.
I mean, did you see that Superman 2 or whatever? Lex Luthor escaped in a hot air balloon. All right. So, I mean, come on.
Well, it's a hot air balloon.
People had to start fucking dying. I ain't gonna fight the guy twice.
like Superman. Superman's about to deliver Lex to the police again. He's like, you know what? No, I mean, come on. If you guys couldn't work the hot air balloon thing, then
Yeah, he deserves to be free.
Throw him into a volcano.
What am I fighting
What's his face says? Just pick him up, throw. That would, it would stop people. They'd be like, I'm not gonna get thrown into a volcano.
Yeah. If Superman catches you, he's gonna take you, hurl you into the sun.
Right, and that's just,
And keep you alive right before you get there.
right?
Spacesuit so you can breathe the whole time, know it's coming. Nothing you can do about it.
He wouldn't be so boring then.
You just fly around it the first time just to fuck with you.
And then finally, Station 19, Thursday on Channel 5, WEWS. Ellen Pompeo and Chandra Wilson show up in the 2-hour premiere of this Grey's Anatomy spinoff
Oh, great.
about the crew of a Seattle fire station. The drama begins with the team responding to an apartment fire when Captain Pruitt Herrera takes a hit. The future of the station's leadership is in jeopardy, and firefighter Andy Herrera is forced to step up. Meanwhile, new recruit Ben Warren is trading in his scalpel for a fresh start as a firefighter. Yeah, that's stink. Not watching that shit either. And finally,
It's so fucking jaded. All of us are it's not action packed. We're like,
none of this. It's a spun off of Grey's Anatomy. It's going to be that horrible writing where the stupidest shit happens all the time. I bet by the third or fourth episode, they find nuclear weapons in one of the houses.
Oh yeah.
That's that they got to somehow dispose of those while putting out a fire. Cleveland, Ohio. Hemp staff specializing in medical marijuana recruiting, and I bet that's a long line, and dispensary training, is selling out on training classes nationwide for the burgeoning legal marijuana industry, and Cleveland is no exception. But some experts say it may be too early to get excited with just more than a dozen medical marijuana licenses recently awarded in Ohio and unsuccessful applicants filing lawsuits. It's going to take some time for state licensed medical marijuana facilities to get growing. In the rapidly evolving world of legalized marijuana later this fall, some of Ohio's sickest residents, and probably just people that just said they have some pain in their pinky,
Right.
Should be able to use state-issued identification cards to shop at local dispensaries for medical marijuana products, including oils, tinctures, which are alcohol-based
Okay.
cannabis extracts, plant material, edibles, and patches. And probably eventually just like, foam and rubbing oils and
Dildos.
snuff boxes and basically anything that just doesn't involve smoking it. In the past 2 years, hundreds of new regulations have been crafted and dozens of entrepreneurs have invested millions for their chance to break into the budding industry. Meanwhile, a new effort is afoot to make the drug legal for recreational use, a reality in 8 other states. That's going to be a hard fucking thing to get into Ohio, man.
But once they do, I bet you it sells like crazy.
It'll do better in like Michigan or something where it's a little bit more loose because Ohio's so,
They have to be right.
we got a really puckered up asshole in this town for anything like that. A reality in 8 other states. But one thing is certain, no matter who you talk to, from pundits and opponents to experts studying various parts of the marijuana business, Ohioans can expect to see new business opportunities and jobs. Scraping up bodies, putting them in the back of Brian's truck. Yes.
Stink.
I'm just seeing if there's anything of body in here, but it doesn't look like it. I don't know. I'm looking forward to meeting the first person that I know that has the medical marijuana card and is buying it in Ohio, just so I can ask them questions about it. Because it's weird. It's like you can only have edibles. So what do you just go? Do you get you go in and get like a bunch of Tic Tacs, or do you get like cookies? Do you get fat while you're taking the medical marijuana? I don't know.
Because I'm sad.
Get the oil.
Quit smoking this shit. You won't be fucking sad.
Well, I think we know people who can speak to how the edibles work already without the card.
Well, no, but I'm
Somebody
saying like
somebody like our
like-
dad has to be the one that hands it out to you. Like, you don't fucking-
no, I know how edibles work. I'm saying like, but anybody that I know is taking edibles has just done them recreationally and not taking them every hour or whatever for their pain. So like, I mean, if it was those gummy bears or whatever, like, are you going to take like one gummy bear every hour? I just like to know how that's actually going to work.
You would never imagine.
It's probably not going to be sold as gummy bears in this town. I mean, you could get them that way, but
It's probably like vaping.
yeah, they're going to, the kids will get a hold of them and they'll die or something and be like, well,
That's their problem.
so it'll be something flavorless. It'll be like one of them power bars, those dry peanut
So
flavored,
you'll feel better, but you'll have this shit the whole time.
fucking horrible
Yeah, it tastes like cardboard.
health bar that you got to eat. Yeah, like the
The
most.
consistency of cardboard as well.
You gotta eat like a whole one just to get like a slight buzz.
Yeah,
Right?
you're
It's
chewing-
mostly because your stomach's gargling.
You're
all the
chewing
time.
on it and you just look sad while you're chewing. Little tear.
Please kill me, kill me. All right, so that's it for the show. We'll be back next week with more, maybe without an echoey microphone, and maybe Don Anderson will join us then. And hopefully there'll be no shootings next week, and we'll have all good news.
That'd be nice.
Wouldn't that be great?
That would be great.
All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for listening.
We'll
Peace.
talk to you.
See ya.
Say peace.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Talk to you.